quieren copiarnos pero no lo están logrando. ¿Qué le está pasando a los que más hablaron? ¿Somos o no somos los que andamos? Parecen perritas ladrando.
Do it.
Hey, ahora sí se caen a la verga, Okay.
Por favor.
Let's do it. So, this is our first episode in English. El
Tranza,
Bordo.
disculpa.
You're our first guest, bro.
Well, good. You need some more. You need a crossover.
I do, man. I need to get that
Yeah.
Güeros check. You know, they pay better.
Well, there's a lot of Mexicans that don't speak Spanish anymore either. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's all they know sabo kids.
Listen, we got to get right into it. So, how do I just take the show over? What a juero move.
I mean, if you
Sí,
want
me lo encargo.
it's not really an interview because I don't consider myself like a journalist or nothing. It's just out here so you can chill. But for the people that are maybe from our show that don't know you, maybe a little brief story, how you came in the game.
Sure. Well, I'm kind of an old man now, but I'm from Portland, Oregon, but I'm a Californian. You know, I lived in LA for the last 13, 14 years. You know what I mean? And I was just a hustler, just a weed dealer, getting money, made a bunch of money in the game, you know, did my time, went to prison, all that. And then we started, my name's Johnny Mitchell, and I host the Connect podcast. So I started talking about the game, and it just blew up a couple of years ago, and that's essentially what we do now. I do stand-up comedy, but the big thing is the Connect. So and boy, dude, they love when I talk about Mexican shit.
Yeah.
So, you know, we were down in Jalisco talking to a kid, really, he's like 20 years old, bro, and he worked for Los Cuatro Letras only for like 3 months, bro, because he had to pay some bills. And he just, like, these guys are watching TikTok.
So you got like a summer job?
Exactly, Doc, but he didn't know what he was getting into, and so he told us this whole story about going to this rancho, and they're fucking training him, and it's all real. Like, I don't like when white people, especially fucking gringos, for like these internet news stations, talk about the cartel like they're these, it's fear-mongering.
Yeah, like it's Gotham City kind of.
Right, exactly. But, like they're a big threat to the United States. They're not. The biggest threat is ourselves because we buy
and
drugs.
that's always our question when people like you reach me out for like, hey, I want to go do a little tour in Tijuana and stuff like that. First, we're like, okay, what kind of dude is he? You know, is he
Yes.
sensationalist, or does he really want to get to it? You know what I mean?
Look, we all have to use clickbait to get people in.
Yeah.
But I wanted to start the Connect because I'm like, no, how does it really work? What is a drug route? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, actually, does Sinaloa Cartel, do they still have workers in the U.S.? I kind of find that hard to believe, right? Like, I really want to get to the details. Most of the news is just sensationalist, as you say, but much of what they talk about in Mexico, bro, it's facts.
Yeah.
So, anyways, but my point is, you know, we're doing a lot of this stuff down there, and it's just amazing. But I love doing it. So it's just kind of been this journey where we interview people mostly in English, but we're starting to talk to a lot of Mexicans, and we're going down to Colombia next week. So we're going to talk.
You went down to Monterrey, no?
Went to Monterrey, Saltillo. We've been to Guadalajara. We've been to, obviously, TJ with you. Yeah. And we were in Nogales last week.
How'd you like the Zona Norte, bro?
Oh, what's that?
No,
No, that was killer, bro. You brought us to Zona Norte. You showed us the trap spots. Yeah, I mean, it was, you know, but again, it's like the border cities, it's so hard to imagine. Like, we went to Nogales, and it reminded me of TJ. Everything's really, everything is chill. There's just trap spots. There's people working, right? In the cities, there's tiendas that are fucking getting it on, selling dope. And then on the outskirts of the city is where the polleros are very, very slowly moving people in, like one at a time, because it's hot now.
Yeah.
And it costs like, bro, the one pollero we talked to said that they're charging Mexicans like $15,000, $17,000.
Yeah, well, it depends on the way to get in.
On the way to get in.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's like at TJ, but, you know, so it's the border. Yeah, so I haven't really, I haven't been to like a super intense place yet filming. I was in we went to Culiacan, but this was 2023, so this was after the first Culiacanazo.
Culiacanazo, yeah.
Yeah, and and they had everything was tight. They had their shit together.
What are you trying to see? Like, what's some intense you trying to see?
I don't want to be too intense, bro.
Yeah,
I got too much money.
Like,
I got. Yo tengo lana. Yo tengo feria. No quiero arriesgarme para nadie.
Yeah.
But I'm fascinated. I mean, like I don't want to go. Like the East Mexico is like super hot on the border. You know what I mean? That's a place where we would just never go. It's not
like smaller cities, like smaller like pueblos, more like if you look at TJ, it's very more like metropolis than
right.
The other.
But Reynoso, that's a real city. Like
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I just think the culture is way more like
savage,
dog. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Thank God for gringos because it's given TJ some culture. You know, it's given TJ like that. Like let's operate. You know, a little bit more like Americans.
Yeah, because also TJ has this the LA San Diego culture drips down to it, and it's the big city. Plus, it's like the biggest, like the most transited border, and a lot of people come and go and everything.
Yeah,
and also like I think last year you had some kind of controversy with a guest that was what's his name? I think he went back and forth with Jay from the Flores Twins. Yeah,
dude, it's funny because I never pay attention to like. I don't read any comments. I don't.
No, I bet, but
I don't pay attention at all. But people do hit me up.
Yeah,
it was
some
this
reaction videos.
Black guy. He was a black guy from Detroit, and he claimed. Look, I saw the guy's paperwork. The United States attorney was like, and I'm like, wow, it gave me chills because I'm like, this dude is telling the truth. He was a big mover for when Juarez had a cartel. I mean, they might have a cartel still, but back when they were really like. They had the government on their payroll. This is like the Beltran Leyva days. This is the Chapo days. This is like
2006, 2007.
Exactly, 2008, 2009. And, you know, he was a black guy that just was a really good mover. And, you know, he went down, he met Arturo Beltran, he met, you know, Chapo, he met, I think he even met Senor Mayo, you know, he met all those dudes. And, yeah, he was just moving, you know, he was that guy that was moving 200, 300 bricks at a time. But am I safe to say this? Can I talk all the shit I want, or do I have to?
No.
They just killed a guy down in Guadalajara, so I don't know what I can say. But this guy was saying Chapo probably set him up with the DEA, right? And we know that now is like a fact. We can just kind of say that. And also, like the guy was a punk. Like he would send him. He said Chapo would be like. No, I need you to take some work. Here's 100 bricks. And it would be shitty cocaine. So it would kill his bag. And now Chapo's like, what do you think he's going to say? Oh, don't worry about it. No, you owe me for 100 bricks. So, you know, this guy, he's a mythical figure in Mexico, but he's kind of a fucking dumbass. You know what I mean? He fucked up so much. He fucked up so much. He was just, his ego was out of control, man.
Yeah.
That's a guy that needed therapy. If he was my height, he'd still be operating. Everything would be fine, but he's just like this little guy.
I think that,
Yes. Oh, my God. Dude, we talked to so many. I talked to these big drug kingpins. I get to the root of what drives them to do this stuff. They want to be seen and recognized. Humans have this need to, especially men, to make their mark,
especially coming from like poverty and stuff like that.
For sure.
For like somebody coming from the like low income places, the only way to really make a name for yourself is like the street stuff. Like it's hard to become a fucking famous doctor or surgeon or stuff like that.
Oh, you can't if you're from Barrio de Aguato. You can't.
So what you see like more conveniently to do is the streets. You know?
Right, and you're just like God.
But ego
I mean, dog. If you can't you just get out of the game. Nobody thinks like that down there, though. Nah. Nobody says, hey, I have $100 million. I'm going to pick up and I'm going to move to Spain. They're doing that more now, but like the non-famous guys.
Also, what they're doing now is micro trafficking. Like, you know, they're cool with making 20, 30,000 a month. You know, they don't want like the luxuries and everything, but you can live well off with 20,000, stay under the grid.
Right. Know? So how is that? You mean like setting up tiendas in Mexico?
No, not just sending maybe like 1 or 2 bricks. Instead of like 10, you know?
Right.
And you get a good check with 10, 20,000, you can live good out there in Mexico.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you stay kind of under the radar. Even if they get caught, you have enough to pay because it's not that much. You know, they don't want to kill you maybe because it's not that much. So a lot of micro trafficking is
Right. Yeah.
becoming more popular.
So you could just get in the game. You could just go to a boss of a plaza and be like, "Hey, I got."
I mean, but do the whole depends how you get into that. But I mean,
Yeah.
if you're already doing that, I think that's what's becoming more convenient for.
Yeah, it definitely seems like that. Like everything is decentralizing. Everything from like the financial system
But
to.
did you see though? Coming back to what's his name, the black dude that you had in the podcast?
Yeah. So this guy, I don't know what the problem was like with what he told
Well,
me.
I think what Jay was saying is that he was lying because back then those were his years. Like he would have known him. I think something like that he was saying, and then saying some of the paperwork wasn't really like. I don't know. They know about that shit. You know what I mean? And supposedly
Yeah.
he said like he wasn't moving that much, or because Jay the florist, they were the guys back then. So he was
Right,
like, hey, I
right.
would have known him or something like that. But
Yeah,
I
possibly.
mean, I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know. They lived in different cities, and I don't know. It's possible.
You knew the drama there that
Yeah.
happened on your show.
I've tried to get Jay on the podcast, man, but he doesn't want to come do it.
Well, he doesn't do it in person. It have to be like a video call or something.
yeah,
That's how I
yeah.
did it on a phone call.
Yeah.
They're like,
He screwed himself because I don't want to give his business out. Trying to be better about that. Try not to be such a, how do you guys say it? A chismeando.
chismeando.
Yeah,
Oh,
try not to
okay.
be that so much. But
Yeah.
a lot of these dudes have great stories, but they fuck themselves because they sign their rights over to like big media companies
Yeah.
to get documentaries made. And dog, it could take you 10 years, if
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah,
You
that's
should just be
right.
podcasting and
Yeah,
doing it
that's-
right. All right, let's talk shop, Papa. What do you got?
Nothing, man. I was just gonna ask you, like, you've been around Mexico, you've been around all these dudes. What's some of the
Okay.
most interesting shit you've seen?
Well, first of all, let's start at the top level. How do Mexicans feel? And I don't mean citizens, ciudadanos like Frankie. Obviously, I'm talking about guys with dubious, like, is there tension? There's protests in Mexico City. Mexico, I feel bad for Mexico right now. I feel bad for Americans, but I really feel bad for Mexico. But I feel like there's a tension. Do Mexicans not like Americans? How do you guys really feel about
It's
it?
not really that. I think, well, what I've seen the tension on social media is more with the Mexican Americans and the Mexicans, I think.
Oh,
I think that's where
go into that.
I just think that, like the Mexicans that grew up here, the Mexican Americans, they rather speak English. It's okay, it's understandable because they grew up here. You
Yeah.
know, that's part of the thing. But once you choose that to consume more stuff in English, like music and
Yeah.
news and shows and stuff, you kind of leave out the
Yeah.
Mexican culture. That's
Right.
you know what I mean. You don't get to on the movies or the
Yeah.
whatever's going on in popular culture and music and stuff like that. So I think little by little you start losing that. So some of the stuff that they talk about, like these famous TikTokers and stuff about Mexico or the history, is very kind of outdated
Yeah.
to what is really going on in Mexico. You know what I mean? But
Yo.
I think it comes to the root of that because they're more American than Mexican
Yeah.
that way, even though they love their roots and everything.
Yeah.
But that separation of the languages, I think that's where it fucks
That's
it up
it.
for them. So
That's it.
now, now that's what separates, from Mexico from a Mexican American, even though they're both, coming from
Well, I kind of meant like, how do Mexican people that are here to work that aren't citizens? They might be here without papers. They might, they might be here illegally, whatever.
I think that's
like.
always
I feel like
been.
there's a resentment though because of what Trump's doing, what ICE is doing, or is it always been like that?
If you're talking about like if it's related to the protests in Mexico City,
No, and not just that though. I mean, that's part of it, but I mean, like
no,
amongst.
because, I mean, I like me growing up in a border town. Illegals has always been something like, and it's just one of those factors that politicians use for whenever there's like elections or
Right.
new presidency or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things that they pick up and either you're gonna be light with it or you're gonna be strict with it. You know what I mean, this time they're being strict.
So
with
it ebbs and flows.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
us on that side of the border, we know how it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Illegals out here, they know they got to take care of. Sometimes they catch them lacking, as they say, because we had like they were with the Democrats and the other government,
Right.
kind of chilling. But now all of a sudden, shit went back to how it was.
So that you got to take the good with the bad.
Yeah.
You got
So
4
sometimes,
years
yeah.
of being out in the open.
You got to be
bringing in as many
gotta
people
be
as
on
you
your
want.
ones and twos on the
Yeah.
politics, man. See how shit's going down. But
Right. So, and probably 4 years from now, because things keep getting more extreme,
Yeah.
we're going to get Democrats back in, and it might be open
that
borders
pendulum
again.
effect that it always
Yeah.
goes down, you know what I mean?
Okay, so you guys are used to that. So you don't blame like You don't blame people that voted for Trump?
Well, yeah, obviously, no. I don't think he's very popular anymore. You know what I mean?
No,
So-
I just did a joke about it. He fucking bait and switched.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I voted for him because I didn't know what other choice I had. Like Andrew Schultz will tell you that. Like, what are we going to vote for Kamala? She's incompetent.
Yeah.
And I knew he was going to be good for Bitcoin. Like, selfishly, I was like, he's going to be good for people that are like wealthy, which is true. But, bro, it's like within months, you were like, oh, this motherfucker wants to basically they hate democracy, they hate freedom, they hate what America's about. It doesn't matter what they say, dude.
Yeah.
They would rather have everybody, they would rather make it a police state. I really believe that. So
Yeah.
Oops.
You
But
think what happened to him was a conspiracy or like the ear?
what happened to him?
When-
Oh, got shot. I don't know. I don't even play into that. I don't really know. I
You
don't
don't pay
care.
attention.
No, I don't give a fuck, bro. I'm always looking about. I'm always trying to plot my escape. When you look at empires,
Yeah.
you read
yeah.
about Rome. When you're in the decline of an empire, it's a nasty place to be.
Yeah. It's hard to notice though too.
Exactly,
it's going
exactly.
down, you know what I mean?
But-
Because it took years to.
For sure. But nobody's happy. Young people they feel hopeless. People aren't fucking. The young kids are boring. You're a little older. I'm not talking about you, but like Gen Zs, they don't go out and drink. They don't fuck. They don't want to have kids. They're fucking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't afford to live anywhere. You know what I mean? That you would want to live. So there's all these barometers. There's all these things. The writing's there. You know what I mean? So we'll see. This experiment that Trump is doing, maybe it'll work. Economics is complicated. You know what I mean? But now Mexicans aren't having kids, bro.
Yeah.
That's what's blows my fucking mind. Nobody's having kids in Mexico. You talk to the chicks down there, they're like, Mexican dudes don't want to work. So you guys are going, and I'm like, a lazy Mexican? There is such a thing, which is kind of a cool thing, right? Because Mexicans have the right to be lazy, in my opinion. That's like equality. So, but that's not, you know what I mean? So the same social problems are happening in Mexico, but you guys don't have the power of the dollar. So it's twice as hard because you don't make enough fucking money, bro.
Well, yeah, but the thing, there's money out there, but the politicians keep it all. You know what I mean? It's just It gets to a way. Like I was reading on Tijuana history the other day, and I think one of the last good guys that we have, it's everything it's named after him, like the airport.
Benito Juarez?
Abelardo Rodriguez. He became. He just saw where the money was. Like he saw in Mexico, the north, it was like the gringos coming down and partying and shit like that. So he started selling liquor licenses and all that shit. He was friends with Al Capone and Bugsy Siegel. Because everybody was coming down here, but he was investing in like the schools. He was actually investing in the city, so it became an expensive city.
Right.
So it was a times where it was just a tourist, like people were coming from all over, you know, like not Cancun, but something like that, you know?
Yeah.
And he made it like that because he knew it was going to be worth more. And he just knew about money. He made like $12 million back in the 1920s, something like that. 1930, or somewhere around there. Just because he saw that, how everything that was.
Yeah.
But then I think after that, like everybody was just for keeps.
Yeah.
You know, nobody's investing in anything.
No.
Downhill after
Not at all, bro. And you're down there, and like in Mexico, you kind of have to be born into it. Most people are not self-made down there.
Would you say in America now it's like that too?
It's changed a lot, but the beauty of America, different than any other place in any other time in history, is that there's more people that come from nothing or modest means, and there's still more than everybody else. So that is the only thing that redeems us, is that you're able to go up in class or down in class very easily.
Yeah.
It's the one redeeming thing. The fucking food is poison. Everybody's fat. The chicks are annoying and entitled. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything is built. Everything is stale. There's no shared sense of history. Like Mexico, you guys share the history of the Mexican-American War. You share all of these cultural things. America has no unifying identity. The only thing that we offer people, the rule of law too. That's pretty dope. We have the rule of law, but they go hand in hand. The rule of law and the ability to make money if you just work hard.
Yeah.
That's a special American thing. You know what I mean? But once that shit goes away, bro, there's no reason to be here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You think maybe that's why Trump won, because he kind of like unified those people that.
Definitely. But it's all it is popular. That's just
Yeah.
he's like a mini Maduro in Venezuela. Like
Yeah, that's
Latin
what I'm saying,
American
like-
countries, they swing like that.
Like you're saying, there was a lot of people feeling like there was no culture or anything like unifying them, but then somebody comes with, yeah, America, and I mean, maybe that's all that was needed for
Sure, yeah. That's
feel unified. You know what I mean?
yeah. But now they have a MAGA party in fucking Mexico, bro. But the thing is, it doesn't matter. Even if a MAGA party won in Mexico, they would take the money.
Well, I mean, what's
They would
happening
get
now?
paid off.
What's happening now is like, I think the party in power is just willing to die on their hill. Like they're never gonna admit their governors are corrupt. You know, they're never
No,
gonna
the
admit
Morena
that.
party?
Yeah. I think they're just trying to die on that hill. Like
Oh,
because
dude.
the governors, they keep losing their visas, and everybody keeps like getting caught and
Yeah.
like, red-handed, but they don't say anything about it. So at this point, I'm like, bro, these guys are just willing to die on that hill.
Bro, you're having your what's going on right now in Mexico? It's your Jeffrey Epstein files moment. Like all that shit,
Yeah.
it's coming apart, bro. But all the politicians have to do is just say, just like here, like the FBI director is like, nah, just all you have to do is deny or just say like, we don't, whatever, make up bullshit. And then what are people supposed to do? Like they have the power. So, and then people will just move on and just be more bitter. So yeah, you guys, it's fascinating what's happening. This shit with the connection that the Morena party has to Sinaloa and everything that's going on with Mayo and
You see videos
And
of them
El
in the
Raton.
ranchos and like,
Yeah.
pueblos and stuff. It's-
yeah, bro. So that is the equivalent of what's happening with the Jeffrey Epstein files here. And it can't make an immediate difference at all. Like nobody will go to jail. Nobody will go to jail.
Yeah, I think they're dying on that hill instead of like sometimes they sacrifice, like a governor
Of
or
course.
something like that. But this time I don't think they're gonna do that, man, because it would spread it to the whole party. Like everybody's gonna look guilty of that. You think Trump actually sends troops down there eventually?
No, man, that would be such a bad look. I don't think he'll do it. I mean, I hope he doesn't do it, but I don't think he'll do it.
Because that, like immigration, is just another factor that politicians use whenever either you're gonna be light on them or you're gonna be strict on them.
Well, the economy's going to start to turn for the worst. Already has. So it's possible. But if he does that, everybody will turn on him. It's obviously like a distraction. So I don't think he's going to do that.
You've seen how corrupt stuff is in Mexico, right? Like,
Yeah.
Have you seen that out here in America? Something like that.
Dude, I used to say no, but lately I have.
Really?
When I see like what the Israel lobby does
Oh yeah,
with the politicians, that's our version of, what you guys, the fucking governor of Michoacan, right? Like he gives the construction contracts to his brother, he gives the plumbing to his suegro, whatever. And they all kick up a piece to the fucking whatever cartel's dominating the region. You know what I mean? So I think it's a little more high class. I think it's a little more dressed in like suits here. It's legalized. You're allowed to have a lobby. You can give infinite money. They passed. There's a Supreme Court decision in 2010. The Citizens United. It basically made it. It allowed lobbyists to give essentially infinite money to politicians to curry favor. So what we've done is just legalized corruption. Whereas in Mexico, it's still a little more, it looks old school. It looks very that Latin American, Spaniard, like favoritism. It's it's very, very obvious.
Like payola, kind of like.
Yeah, exactly. So, but
Same with the Israel stuff. That's kind of where.
And you see that, but again, the empire always goes too far, and now that's done. Like the next part, like they've completely lost everybody. So that is the good thing. They go too far, and nobody wants to rock with them anymore.
Yeah, that's what's happening now. Like you You watch Candace Owens videos?
Exactly. But good God bless her, dude.
Yeah. I mean,
God bless her, bro.
yeah. She goes in on that.
So do you think that what's happening with by the way, let me just tell you about Nogales.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
It's Cartel de Sinaloa. That's a whole plaza, and they have it on lock. One side is Chapiza, the other side is Maísa, right?
Yeah.
And I'm talking to sicarios, like active dudes, and they're like, yeah, I mean, it's crazy what's going on in Culiacan, but drugs are still moving. Nobody's even trying to enter the territory right now. So it's fascinating. What do you think? But now we have Ivan Archivaldo, who's basically become like his father. He's like the new Mencho almost. Like he's in the hills. He's on the run. What's happening in your opinion? What are people saying about that? And how his brother is flipped and is ratting and.
Well, I mean, I think we saw that when the Mayos did it first. You know, when their sons were getting arrested and they were sleeping and stuff like that.
Okay, so do you think that was the genesis of the whole war? Was back when Mayo's son to get himself out of trouble?
Because they did some stuff. I mean, if you read the book that Vicente wrote, he speaks on how like they accidentally killed El Chapo's son, you know, and then he testified on the Chapo. Like you see all this stuff that Chapo was supposedly like, it's okay, you know, like do whatever you need to get free.
Yeah.
But I mean, at the end of the day, you know, I don't think I mean, you've been in the system when you testified against, even if you're just testifying against the Chapo, like more people are gonna get caught up in whatever you say. You know, you're not only telling on them.
No, you have to tell everything.
Yeah. So I think eventually, like the kids, I mean, the sons were like, yeah, my dad was okay with that. Like, we're kind of not. And then once they did their thing, you know, when they kidnapped Mayo and he sent a letter to his kids saying like, don't go to war, the kids were like, nah, fuck that.
You know what I mean? Really?
Yeah. He sent a letter where it was like, hey, keep it cool, like stay together, whatever. Like that. But I think also like strategically, his son was like, you know, this is my time to get rid of these guys and keep everything, you know, which is always their mindset in a way.
Right.
You know? So I think it's not good for them because they were a big cartel, now it's just cracked into two. And what I hear from the streets is 50-50, man. Like some say they're winning, some say they're not. And
what's happening with them in TJ right now?
Oh, TJ's their own thing, you know. Like in TJ, like they recently caught the dude, Laquito, which was like for the local team,
the Arianos.
Old
school, dude.
Yeah, he was there for like 15 years.
Are the Arianos still doing it? Like,
well, I mean, not the same people. Some of them,
right?
Some of them, like remnants from the same factions from back then. But there's still people that represent that, and it's just new people though. Like a lot of people don't have nothing to do with the family.
Of course. Do you think that now that the Chapizas have a alliance with the fucking CJNG, do you think they could try to move in?
Tijuana and CNG?
No, the Chapizas, Ivan, and you know.
Oh. If they're together, they're probably are. I don't know.
No, they have an alliance. You didn't see that? Yeah. They're coming out with propaganda videos. Yeah. Now, who knows what that involves? But I think they could try to take TJ.
That's the smartest decision. I mean,
for sure.
If you look at it strategically,
for sure.
But
that's going to make the CJNG the most powerful cartel. I mean, they already are. And I saw that, bro. Like, I interviewed people from both sides. Sinaloa, they're sniffing coke. They're fucking drinking. They're out of pocket, and there's no consequences. You'll get the tabla. You'll get the fucking killed. You know, like they drug test people with the Jalisco anti-doping, all that shit. Like
so you're not using meth and
it seems like they are like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah, and Guadalajara, like you could just the environment feels like more classy. In a way, like it just feels different, like more strict, like everything's more under control. Yeah, like how it used to be in Sinaloa.
Right,
back
that's
then,
right.
You know?
But you could feel it. You're like, oh, this is a cartel city, and nobody like.
Everybody has a lot of money and like nice cars. And
right,
like that. You see all that in Zapopan and all that. And
well, you know, but they kill a lot of people though, bro. They disappear. Now the murder rate has actually gone down, but the disappearance rate has gone up.
They just haven't found them yet.
Yeah, and they may not, bro.
How was Monterrey? You were over there.
Yeah, but Monterrey, I don't know. It's a huge city.
Different vibe, huh?
Yeah. I don't really. I don't really like Monterrey as a city. It's just too big and hot. But I mean, it's just cool though. It's interesting.
I
Like,
felt safe in Monterrey. I just didn't feel that like narco vibe that you get in other cities like Sinaloa or
Right, right.
I think Monterrey is still kind of like more conservative as well because it gets like this Texans like
Right,
trip, you know what I mean?
right.
So I think it's the same like more conservative and stuff.
man, well, they really did a fucking 180 after the Zetas.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I
yeah,
mean, that was only 10, 15 years ago.
yeah, but I think they took care of like having people that dangerous around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think
Yeah.
they're more low key now. Like yeah. Because I was there and it just felt like you didn't see like all the military like roaming around. And stuff
Right.
like that, like,
yeah.
other
We
cities.
went to Saltillo, which is in Coahuila.
Yeah.
Which nobody knows or gives a fuck about. But
That's like saying like Bakersfield or something.
yeah, exactly. Like, who gives a shit, dude? But they have it's not controlled by anybody.
Oh.
Like, the state cops are the biggest force there.
Oh, that yeah, like in TJ, kind of like.
But-
you know?
No. But TJ's, bro. Come on. I mean, TJ's Sin City, dude. You can't even go to like a putero. They don't even have fucking whorehouses in Coahuila and
Oh,
Saltillo.
really?
They don't have casinos, bro. Because they
Oh.
don't want, money laundering and shit like
Oh.
that. So it's really, really interesting. So we did a video there asking these cops who fought the Zetas, right? These are like, they're fucking got PTSD out the ass, bro. These guys
yeah.
are like, their minds are gone. You know, when you talk to like a sicario that's been doing it for too long, like, there's nothing behind your eyes, bro.
Yeah.
That was these guys. But I was like, what was the secret? Like, could they do this in all of Mexico? It seems pretty reasonable what they're doing. And they were like, I suppose we could, because I don't know. It's just fascinating, like, why. But then right over the border in Tamaulipas, it looks like fucking
like
Iraq.
Yeah,
dude.
ghost town. Yeah.
I mean, bro, you can't go through there.
Yeah.
You get lit up. So, yeah, it's really, Mexico's just, it's a tale of like 3 countries in one.
Yeah.
It's so fascinating.
It's because it varies from like how the north is to like the east, and then
Yep.
the central, and then southern, like Yucatan and Oaxaca. And that's a whole nother story, man. Like those
a whole-
borders with Guatemala
Totally.
and all that over there.
Totally. Yeah.
You been down there?
I've never been down there, no.
Oh, that's fucking.
How do you even get down? There's an airport down there?
Yeah, they got everything. They got big cities.
Do you like it? Do you like how ignorant I am sometimes?
Yeah. I mean, it's
I'm like, do they do drugs in Mexico? You're like, come on, Johnny.
You're white, you know. It's part of, it comes with the package, man. You know what I
I
mean?
like being. Sometimes it's fun to be ignorant, bro.
I mean, it's fun to be curious about stuff and wanting to learn, because it's just, you keep that door open to be able to talk to different people. And,
Yeah. Well, I always looked up. So I grew up. Obviously, every white kid grew up in the '90s wanting to be like revering black culture, right?
Well, it was popular, right? That's the culture.
Yeah.
the culture.
Well, it was the culture that's popular. Things have changed, but
The corridos. That's right.
yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, now I'm listening to like narcocorridos, right? And it was when I learned Spanish, and then I learned about like the drug lords, and I'm like, no, actually, these dudes are actually cooler. You know,
Yeah.
like it's not cool to be an idiot and to be killing yourself for no reason. It's cool to get money. It's cool to have power.
Yeah,
it's cool to have beautiful women.
Yeah. 'Cause-
So yeah, I think that is like my later in life influence. And I think I kind of play that out with doing the connect without actually having to be in the life. Does that make sense?
I mean, coming back to the culture, the rap culture, like there were some rappers that would talk about like getting money and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
once the gang thing came, I think it kind of became like this, very hood mentality, where it was like,
Yeah.
it's kind of like stay broke mentality too. Like,
Yeah.
they want to stay in the hood doing this hood things, where it's like, bro, you're not going to do
Yeah.
anything with your life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
we saw it too in Mexico. There's some people that be killing for free, basically. And it's like, bro, that's not, I mean, you might
Yeah.
you think you're tough, but you're not really making anything out of it. You know what I mean?
No.
I always follow that too, like the people that made the money and stuff like that. And that's
Yeah.
why I got the corridos and into that
Yeah.
life, because it wasn't popular back then. It was popular like undergroundish or locally in Mexico. We knew about them and stuff like that, but I don't think people knew how much money they got, until like the news and the books became, and the series and Narcos and
Yep.
everything, that they were like, bro, these guys are making more money than,
Yeah.
and then they get to prison and they don't they don't become bosses or anything like that. They just want to do their time. You met a lot of them.
Yeah.
They're like, I just want to do my time, and they don't really.
Yep.
Sometimes they don't even get into the politics or anything.
Yeah, they usually don't
But
actually.
because they got millions waiting for them outside. That's what I was saying. Like there was some guys on the podcast saying like, yeah, the big bosses sometimes they're pussies in jail or whatever. I'm like, well, bro, you have nothing for you outside. You know,
Yeah.
these guys actually have like properties and there's somebody outside.
They got shit to lose.
Yeah, you go back to the block and that's about
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean? But these guys actually have shit to lose. They don't want to stay more in jail.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Whereas gang mentality is like,
Yeah.
I gotta serve my gang. You know, there's the different codes, different.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Yeah.
where they get lost. You know,
Ramon Ariano Felix, he's coming home pretty soon.
he's dead since 2002. That's the brother I got.
Sorry, Benjamin.
Benjamin, yeah.
There we go. I forget who's who. Yeah. So Benjamin is the one that's coming home. That family, very successful drug trafficking family, really, like, they kind of got away with it. They kind of got. They only,
think?
yeah. They only had a couple people killed. None of them are going to die in prison like Chapo. They never found any of their money, really. They've looked for it. That money is hidden in Mexico. And yeah, like to me, like you win if you maintain some of your wealth and you don't die or die in prison, which is the same thing.
Yeah, like I've
So give those guys credit. Like they really did well for themselves.
and to be honest, like the first guy you mentioned, Ramon, since he was like a loose cannon. And
He was crazy. He ended up
yeah,
dead.
And I mean, I met people from different places like Guadalajara, Sinaloa and stuff. They all have respect for that dude. Like they all were scared of him, you know, like because he
Yeah.
would pop out of nowhere. You might be having a meeting in random places in Michoacan, and all of a sudden, like there was full shooting at you because he knew where you were, you know. So he was just looking for his enemies like that. So he had everybody shook. So like now that I keep meeting other people that were his enemies and stuff like that, they have respect for him. You know, they ask for his corrido at the parties and stuff like that. Even though he tried to kill, or even though he killed their uncle or whatever, you know. But shit like that, it's crazy. Just the respect they have for him, like it's for like
But
artists and stuff.
I said that to say that Benjamin, I talked to somebody on my podcast that did time with him. He's got like 2 or 3 bodyguards with him at all times in the joint.
Yeah, I
know
mean,
what I mean?
I was in MCC when he was there.
Yeah.
He was in the hole. And there was people like fighting to go to the hole just to meet him. You know what I mean? Just to
Yeah.
be on next to his cell.
Yeah,
There was other people there too, but
Yeah.
he was the more famous one. So
Yeah.
So yeah, I have some friends that I actually look at them as like they kind of won because they went to jail when they were like, I don't know, 30, 31. They got out in their 38, 39
Yeah.
because they gave them like 12 years, but they did like 8. And then they're still young, relatively,
Yeah.
their family waited for them and now they have some business. Or
Right.
To me, they kind of won because
For sure.
they have the story, they
Yep.
lived through it, they
Yep.
did their thing, and now,
I think that's probably where drug trafficking and the game is going in Mexico. Like, let's try to make. I got a lick. I'm from Michoacan, and I got some cousins in Portland, Oregon, and they're selling meth out the ass. Let's just let's try to get $5 million back. We go to prison for we do 10 years, and then we come home, and everything is settled. Like, I think that's I see a lot of people, I see it going that way. As you say, micro trafficking.
yeah, micro trafficking, or
Even though it's still a shitload of drugs.
yeah, but sometimes they're not. If they get caught for like one trip, that's 2 or 3 kilos. That's not even that much.
Right,
That's
exactly.
Not even that much time, with the good
Exactly.
time and all that stuff. So
And I think it's going to backfire with ICE and stretching resources. I think people that get caught with drugs, I think they're going to get out even sooner because
And
they
I mean,
can't warehouse all these people.
also, like our snitch politics that you would say, they're not as strict as in America, where like
No.
everybody hates the snitches. Over here, like only the guy that the snitched on will hate you, but his compadre will probably work with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you got a good plug, people will work with you. They don't care if you were a snitch. They don't care if you're a certified snitch. You know, the guy that you snitched on, he might be mad with you. If he was a
Right.
good, if he was like a top guy or whatever.
Right.
But
But business is business.
yeah, but other people, if you got a way to get rid of these 100, 200 kilos, they'll be like, hey, fuck it. I
Right.
know snitch on him, but, don't do it
Right.
to me, basically, you know what I mean? But I always tell them when I go to podcasts, I was different, like, to over here, like,
Yeah.
a snitch is a snitch everywhere. Like, nobody likes him, whatever.
Right.
And over
Even
there,
though it's done as rampantly here as it is in Mexico.
Yeah, and but over there it's like, yeah, even your compadre will be like, yeah, you could mention me or whatever and
Right.
get some time off,
That's super smart,
Try
bro.
to get your time off, try to
Yeah.
do whatever. Like, we don't care, bro. Do what you got to do.
Do what you got to do. Yeah,
Do what we got to do.
And then we'll just switch up.
Yeah,
Like, tell us where
because
we're at, and
eventually,
we'll change.
Like, you got to do it, even though if he doesn't snitch or not, you know you're being watched, so everything's gonna switch.
Exactly.
Phones, everything. So I
Exactly.
think sometimes I heard people like recommending that shit. You know what I mean? Like, hey, just
Dude, we did this fascinating interview with this guy, Owen Hansen, USC football player from LA, white boy. And he was working with Yvonne when he was coming up in like 2000, mid 2000s. And when he got locked up finally, he he gets a knock on his cell at MCC in LA, and it's a lawyer he's never met, and he's from the cartel, and he's like, hey, here's some of our enemies in Mexico. This is where this guy is. This is where this guy is. Save yourself. We want to work with you again. Get yourself out early.
Yeah.
Like they brought him like a brochure of people to snitch on.
yeah.
But I don't think he did it because, well, he said he didn't do it because, ultimately he has to go walk the yard.
Yeah.
So if you're at a higher
The
level.
politics out here is different,
For sure. And if you do over 10 years, you're going to go to a USP.
Yep.
And if you go to a USP when you have bad, you're going to get the knife in you.
Yeah.
There's no, so he probably didn't want to risk that. You know what I mean?
But I think also that's something that changed throughout the years. Like it first started as like, yeah, the snitches, like nobody works with you, whatever. But I think it became lenient where like when like the family of the bosses started getting in trouble. I think that's when they were like, all right,
Right.
you could tell my compadre, and it'll be, as long as you get out faster.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I mean, he even wrote a book. Like somebody was joking about. He's like, he not only told on the office, like he actually told everybody with the book. You know what I mean? So
then why is the fighting still going on in Culiacan?
I think like I said, one took advantage of like the situation where it's like, why I might as well get rid of these guys, because that snitching, I think it kept going back and forth. Like sometimes they snitch on us and sometimes they snitch on us. So they were like, eventually this is gonna keep going. They did it to my father, whatever. So might as well, And
But like it's not. They're just killing each other. It's like
because before that,
they're not making any progress.
Before the kidnapping, I think they were going after the Chapitos hard. Like Luis Chaparro was talking about them every week.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right.
And then this happened, and now the war. That's the focus.
Yeah.
Not the brothers. You know what
I
mean?
see.
Now the war is the focus.
I see.
Which it was smart for Ivan too to do it, like
Right.
strategically, like
Right.
just. If they were like, he was like, all right, if they're gonna come get me, might as well just crash out, And
Right.
he kind of did. I mean,
Yeah.
but that's what goes on in that game,
Yeah. Holy shit. God, dude.
So yeah, it's,
When will it stop? When will it stop?
I mean,
Maybe never, bro. Well, I don't want to say never, but
no, I
not
mean,
in our
like I
lifetimes.
said, I was watching documentary on the Tijuana history, bro. Like Tijuana's been this Tijuana since it started being Tijuana. Like
Yeah.
You see why they set it up and how like it was basically to be the backyard of the military men, San Diego and LA, and
Right.
then they made it nice, and then that's when all the trafficking started and the liquor and all that, and it just hasn't stopped.
Yeah.
Already 100 years, man.
Yeah. Yeah, no
So-
shit. I'll tell you what, Mexico has a fucking drug problem. That's what I realized. Like, it's not just us. I mean, to you that's obvious, but like to most Americans, like they don't realize like a high percentage of cartel activity is just concentrated in Mexico.
Yeah.
Obviously with the huachicoleo and the fucking, all the scams they have and the extortion that they have in the East. But like, bro, the drugs are fucking moving, bro. People are, especially meth, because that's
meth,
that's like the working man's drug.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's what I think that's what we have a problem on, and it eventually becomes a problem for everybody because meth heads, they just fucking go crazy. You know what I mean? And it's just not good for anybody. And I think that's why it's hard for people to speak on like cartel shit and not have people hating on them, because there's so many like details, like some shit just goes down because of egos, and people think it's because some conspiracy or the government, they planned this murder, whatever. Nah, the dude was fucking. He spoke to his girl in one time, and that was it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that could be what's going on with the Chapis and the Maíz in Culiacan. Like, it's literally hatred.
Well, they know each other from forever. So they know shit that we don't know,
Right,
like,
and this guy's married to this dude's girl, and it's like, I think they're just angry at each other.
Yeah.
I think it's like hatred.
Yeah.
It's like attrition. That's called, they call it the war of attrition, because clearly the drug routes are still open.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
there's
that can't stop.
So it gives me, so it questions, well, why are you guys fighting then? You're fighting for this like town that's not even very big. There's not that much money there in like the drug trade.
Yeah.
Why are you doing this? It's because of ego.
Yeah.
And you killed, and so many people have had family members killed that they're like, I got to kill that guy. And it just fucking, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, the impulse is too much already. Yeah.
Man, I don't know. Do you think that maybe, who fucking knows, bro? So Mayo just pled guilty. I don't know. I wonder if that'll do anything.
I mean, we're basically still in the middle of the movie, man. Like this shit.
Yeah.
This shit. You don't see the end of it. You know.
Yeah.
There's more people getting extradited. Some of them shouldn't even be extradited because they had like their, what do you call it? Like their motions. I don't know what you call it.
Motion.
Amparos, because to not be extradited and stuff like that, and they just gave them to Trump because Mexico.
Bad luck, dude. Scheinbaum's like, hey, whatever, just don't.
That's what they're trying to do. That's what they're trying to do.
Here you go.
And that's why you hear these news about like the musicians getting blamed for shit.
Right.
Cesar Chavez getting blamed for shit. It's just this mediatic shit.
Yeah.
Just to fucking impress you guys, you know.
Yeah,
impress the white guys.
I know it's important to impress us. Well, that's just sucks, dude. I feel bad that we have all this power over Mexico, but
It's politics. It's politics.
Look, it's not going to last much longer.
I mean,
A couple hundred years, bro, and we're going to be. Now, I got a few more questions though. Why did that fucking dude get killed? The narcocorridos singer, super popular. He just got killed.
Yeah, man.
In Guadalajara. What the fuck happened?
That shit. I listened to that fool since he started.
Yeah, he was huge, evidently.
Huge, man. Huge. But I mean, when the war is going on, anything can be misunderstood or you know what I mean. So if you sing two corridos, if you sing too many corridos from one faction, maybe the other guy thinks that you're with that guy. You know, maybe if the other guy asks you for a corrido and you haven't done it, and then maybe while he's drunk and high, he thinks that this fool doesn't want to sing it, so he sends some guys to kill him at the moment. Maybe, you know, all kinds of little stuff that goes wrong. He didn't seem like a guy that would get into stuff, you know, but you never know when you're getting into stuff after you fucking shit it. You know, maybe he was at a party and then he went to another party and he mentioned some stuff that he thought it was cool to mention. You know, I'm just theorizing. It's nothing, you know what I mean? But shit like that tends to happen where, especially in the middle of the war, is like,
so much paranoia.
Yeah, it's not the moment, you know, and I mean, it sucks, man. He seemed like a family man. I met him a few times.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did. I remember work with some friends in Culiacan with him, and I was telling him, like, this was the second time I met him, but the first time I actually got to talk to him, and he actually paid it, you know, have a good talk. And I told him, like, that corrido, that first one I listened to, and after that, I fell in love with that shit. And he was like, hey, I'm gonna sing, and he sang it. You know what I mean?
Shit!
And it was fucking dope, man. Like the times I met him, he was always cool as fuck. So yeah, rest in peace to that dude. Yeah.
I read that he was warned to not come to, I think, TJ
Tijuana.
or Baja.
Yeah, in Tijuana, man. I mean, the guys in Tijuana from that faction over there, which are actually like my neighbors, you know, they're kind of from the place I grew up.
Yeah.
They're rough, man. They grew up like Tijuana, like the wars in Tijuana, they're bloody, man. That's why we always have the high murder rate. It's not like these other pueblos and stuff where you know you have some people like out here. There's thousands of deaths, like, you know, every year. And these guys, they came up on that. You know, they came up on the streets, on the trap houses, you know, killing. They came up from there, so they're violent as fuck. You know, so I mean,
I wonder if that had any correlation. Maybe not. Who knows? But the point is,
it wouldn't surprise me, you know, because they're just like that, you know, and it sucks. I mean, but I mean, that's their thing, you know, and
it's kind of like, you know, being a narco corrido is like being a trap rapper. I mean,
you can step on toes that don't, you know, of sensible people sometimes, and that's like we said, egos and stuff like that, you know, fragile egos.
I was talking to one of the most fast. I was like talking to Sicario last week in Nogales. He's been working for 8 years. So, I mean, he was a puntero before that for like 10 years. So the guy's like, he's older than me. He's in his 40s. He's been working.
That's just sad. When I meet Sicarios like on their 40s, I'm like, bro,
how many bodies has he dropped? I asked him. He's like, I have the number, but I'm not going to tell you. But so I assume hundreds of people. You know, he's been in the mountains. He's done targeted killings, but he's been in the mountains with motherfuckers. And he's just like, yeah, you could just get away with, if they don't see you, Like if they don't get you on camera, or you don't get caught red-handed,
It's pretty easy
you could
to
just
get away.
with murder. Like they're just not going to follow up, especially if you're killing somebody else who's in the game. They're going to be like, this is good.
Especially when they got like 100,000 other murders to solve before that one.
Right,
So
yeah.
if you're not on camera, if nobody's snitching on you or
Right.
anything, it's very hard.
Right. Even if you're covered up on camera, I mean,
Yeah.
I see murders on camera all the time, and it
Yeah.
doesn't seem to like stop anybody. So like, there's like, there doesn't seem to be a lot of punishment. Sometimes you have to have that, unfortunately.
Definitely. I mean, that's why people think twice to do it out here. I
Right.
mean, you know what I mean? I mean, it happens out here too and stuff, but
Yeah.
but they go to jail.
Yeah,
you know?
usually.
Yeah, and they get investigated and
Yes.
they do the whole thing.
Right.
So it's
And I talked to Ali Gonzalez. Well, can I say his name? Yeah, he's on my he's got 1 million views on my podcast. Ali Gonzalez. He's from LA, but he did a lot of work in different states in Mexico as a killer. He said that a lot of people are in prison. A lot of innocent people are in prison for murder
that's
in
even
Mexico.
worse. Yeah, we have that. Yeah.
That's terrifying,
Yeah.
dude. I'm finding out all sorts of shit, bro. So I'm just going to throw a bunch of shit at you. I found out that drug possession has been decriminalized a lot of places. Small amounts of drug possession.
Yeah, supposedly. But cops still, if you still have like the amount that's supposedly permitted,
Yeah.
you still have it, and
Yeah,
and
yeah.
if you don't want to give them the money, you'll show up with the judge because they take you to the judge.
Right.
And then you had like 2 joints, but when you show up to the judge, you have like 3 ounces.
Right. Isn't this crazy? All these bricks. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay, so that, but then I also heard that, correct me if I'm wrong, I've heard that the punishment for foreigners who get caught committing crime is doubled. Like they doubled what, like, and I don't know if that's true.
I wouldn't know, but
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it either.
Because Mexico's become such a place for people going on the run. I kind of believe it, to be honest with you.
Well, I mean, that's why you have the Casa Gringos series
Yeah,
and stuff, because
yeah.
it's something that's very popular since, I mean, I don't know if you interviewed Conejo finally. Oh, yeah, I mean, ever since his times and even before, you had the Casa Gringos.
Right.
Because it's just places where people think they're going to be okay hiding, and some
Well, it
people,
was for a long time.
and
But
for some people already know that actually have a low profile and stuff like that. But if you actually try to live like a normal life, it's
Yeah.
kind of hard. Nowadays it's even harder.
for sure. But I found that out, so I'm like, okay. So, like, the justice system is fucked up. So, like, you can get away with murder, but if you get caught with 10 pounds of weed, which is nothing, you can go to jail for 10 years. You can go to prison for crimes you didn't commit. When you're in prison and you don't have money, your life is of hell. They don't provide you anything from the state. So everybody gets it, from like a wealthy businessman to a sicario that got all his teeth knocked out by the military. The government is the fucking biggest criminal, biggest problem. They're thieves. It comes from the classism of Spain, the white Mexicans. And it's just been that way since fucking 1830 or whenever your stupid country was founded. I'm just kidding. I'm just saying,
Yeah, so I mean, I know it's late, man, and you're kind of in a hurry. You kind of want to go to bed, or
This is fun, dude.
Yeah. So thanks for coming by, man. I mean, it's my first in English. I'm gonna have, I think, Negra next.
Great. She's awesome.
Yeah,
Hot.
and see where it goes. So
Yeah, good,
thank
dude.
you for stopping by, man.
Thanks, buddy. I always like touching base with you. I always like working with you. So we'll do another, we'll maybe do something for the Connect sometime.
Definitely, man. I'm
know what I
always
mean?
ready. I'm
Yeah,
always
so
ready.
may I plug?
Yeah.
Can I
Go
plug
ahead.
away?
Yeah.
The Connect with Johnny Mitchell. That is, we're all over the internet, YouTube, Spotify. Yeah, dude. So check us out. We're doing just a lot of crazy shit, bro. Trying to bring the best content we can.
Hell yeah.
Thanks
So,
for having me, brother.
Go check Johnny Mitchell out. Go check our video we have in Zona Norte. In Los
Yes.
Santos.
Oh my God. Check that banger out, bro. That was a good one.
All right, man.
See you, man.
Thanks.